What's happening, you all? We back again for another one. You know who we are? The CoWaCo, the company water cooler. Remember, we're not financial advisors. This is for education purpose only. But we about to get it in. Oh, like, subscribe, comment, and share. And first off, we're about to actually talk about understanding your audience demographic. Chris, what you got to say?
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, thank you for joining us. I am Chris, that is Leroy. This is the company Water Cool. Understanding your audience, right? Understanding your demographics. You have to know who you're targeting. You have to make it very focused. You have to make it very decisive. You got to make decisive, hey, look, this is what we're going for. This is what we want to buy it. This is it. Now, if you just want everybody to buy all of the stuff that you have, your company model is going to be honestly, you're going to come under a lot of controversy because you're trying to please too many people, right? So if you want everybody, if you want everyone's approval, one, you're not going to get that because you're going to do something Tuesday that's going to piss somebody off Wednesday. They're going to write a letter Friday. And next Monday, they're going to be at your office. Another group is going to appreciate that. And they're going to say, hey, we glad you took a stand on that. This is how you, boom, boom, boom. Now I'm an investor. So understanding your audience, understanding your demographics, who you're targeting, because honestly, the more specific you get and the more focused you get, the more broad you become. And everybody wants a piece. Everybody wants to get invested in it because now you're just targeting this one. Now, unfortunately, it's a lot of maliciousness behind that, right? So you have a lot of, oh, well, that's only for that group. That's only for them. I don't think that's fair. I want to go in and change the whole structure and everything. Nobody asked you to do that, one, and then you have options over there away from that company that you don't have to bother with. But it's something about, feeling entitled, right? It's something about that where, some investors think that they need to go in and reshape the focus of a company that's doing well to cater to an audience that they're a part of, or cater to an audience that they want to cater to, for the simple fact they could be bored, it's a bunch of money, and they don't know what to do with it, right? But when you understand that you know who your audience is, that better helps you not only serve that audience that you have, but you're able to receive criticism and feedback from them a lot easier. So if I know that small financial literacy YouTube channels is my target audience, I'm not going to get big celebrities to endorse, whatever. I'm going to set up shop in these areas and have these meet and greets and events so that these little financial literacy YouTube channels can link up, they can meet, they can network with each other, they can keep producing their content, and then they can influence each other, right? The minute that I step out and get a big celebrity endorsement, that's the minute that I probably lose half of that audience because I was reaching, I was stretching too far, and I didn't pay attention to who my audience was, right? So once you find out who your audience is, you cater to your audience, and you try to minimize influence from other audience that other companies are trying to influence, right? If you're in pharmaceuticals, you're not really trying to influence apparel. You're not really trying to influence athletic wear, right? You may have a windbreaker with your pharmaceutical logo on it, or a t-shirt with your pharmaceutical logo on it, or a dad hat, or whatever it is, but you're not looking to influence the apparel industry because you're in pharmaceuticals. And you know that, so you stay focused. Hey, we're a pharmaceutical company, we stay right here. This is our lane, this is our audience, this is what we're geared towards, and we're good. So just understand who your audience is. And then in terms of investing, when you understand that, if you are a part of the audience that the company is advertising to, then put your money behind it. If you don't feel that a company aligns with your morals and your values, even if it's a good company, sometimes you might have to step away from that. You have to be like, you know what? That company is this, but it doesn't align with, and some investors may tell you it's all money at the end of the day, don't worry about it. Like if a company is good, they've been making money for 10, 15, 20 years, take the emotion out of it. That's easy to say. It's very easy to say, take the emotion out of investing, but it is extremely difficult to do that, right? You think about cigarette companies, you think about prison companies, you think about companies that support an agenda that you don't. It's easy to say, hey, get rid of that because the company has gone up 700% in the past 5 years. That's easy to say. But as an investor, you might be like, well, okay, they could get up to 800% over the next year, and I can be a part of making money from that. But that means that I also contributed to something that goes against me more, right? So it's that juxtaposition, right? It's that juxtaposition, like, hey, I can not support this company morally, but support them financially and make 100% of my money, or I can go and invest in companies that have my best interests at heart, that support my agenda, and make 40%, right? Or make 50%. So I'm making less, but I'm comfortable putting money behind this company that I support. It's definitely okay to do that. Like I said, it's easier said than done. Oh man, it's just money. Because it's not just that. But as much as you can take the emotion out of it, yes. But I wouldn't. I'm not going to advise you. I wouldn't tell anyone, hey man, look, I'm not going to tell a man to put his money behind something he don't want to put his money behind, right? So, especially, hey, he don't feel like that company is good for him, good for his community, good. Hey, he's not investing in it. Yeah, that company might be, projected to do this much and this much and this much, but if you're not able to take that out of there, don't put your money behind it. But if you invest in a company that knows the audience, that know that, hey, Caterpillar, fantastic industrial company, they do their thing. That's where they are. They're going to use technology companies to further their company and push their company up, right? Triple D is going to do the same thing. Strasis is going to do the same thing. The 3D print company. All of them are going to do Nano Dimensions, is going to do the same thing, right? These are companies that, well, Caterpillar's doing great, but these are companies that right now might not be doing so well, but here's their focus, here's where they're going with it. Okay, I can put my money behind it because they know their audience. They know, okay, well, we're an industrial 3D printing company. So we're printing for businesses that want large scale 3D printing. Maybe they're printing car parts, or maybe they're printing this very detailed pieces of whatever it is. And because it's a different type of manufacturing, right? Because they're pulling, and they can make these very intricate designs and put all of these details in there. That's the audience that Nano Dimension goes for. Okay, so cool. You might not have a Nano Dimension 3D printer in your house, right? That might be a Strasis type ordeal. So the minute that Nano Dimension switches and tries to go into residential, then it's like, wait a minute, maybe I need to back off that investment, right? Up to this point, I've made this much. Now I can go in, okay, but right now, I think, and you pay attention to management leadership. So not only does a company need to understand the audience going toward, the investor needs to know as well the target audience of the company he or she is investing in.
Good advice, man. Good advice. All right. The second thing we're going to actually talk about is be mindful of where you put your energy at within the market. Chris.
Yeah.
Grandmaster
If
Sensei.
you have, hey, now, what God allow. So if you're a tech investor, be a tech investor, right? You know that your industry, that technology is going to influence every other sector of the industry. But just be in that, focus your energy towards that. You can stretch yourself too thin and overwhelm yourself and try to invest in too much or try to do too much. Find a core 5-6 companies that you know are good enough about to have a conversation, like a full-fledged conversation, and invest in those companies. Right? When you try to spread yourself out too thin, I need to know what's going on with Apple. and Walmart, and Tesla, and Home Depot, and Google, and ABBV, and Coca-Cola, and P&G, and it just becomes like, and Ford, and Toyota, and Honda. I need to know what's going on. All the cars, and Bank of America, and Wells Fargo, and I need to know what's going on. Eli, and I need to know, like, all of it. You know, it's just too much, right? I need to know what's going on with QQQ. I need to know what's going on there, and then all the companies inside, what's going on with XLF and XLE and all the XL. It's just too much. Once you focus on that core 6, even 10, I would say 10 is a good number of companies to know, like, hey, I know stuff about Walmart. It's public information because I don't work at Walmart and I don't have a position, but I know, hey, the average man or woman that I talk to on the street might not know this about Walmart. 1, because they're not an investor. 2, because they just don't care to know it about Walmart. Maybe he don't shop at Walmart. Maybe she only shop at, Harris Teeter, whatever, to get her food, whatever it is. But if I know, hey, Amazon is getting into logistics and they're working on biting away at the share of the market that Amazon has on delivery. They've got vans. They're working on getting food inside of people's houses. So they're going to work with low income communities to do Meals on Wheels and do deliveries. They're going to, even with the elderly, they're going to see if they can get approved for key fobs, keys to get inside of their home so they can put the food in your refrigerator. And so all of these things, right, you might not as a consumer or Walmart shopper know this, but as an investor, it's kind of my job to know what the company that I'm invested in is up to. Right? I'm part owner of the company. As an owner, it's important for me to know what the company is up to. So when you're able to finally say, okay, here's how you separate consumerism from investing, and you're never going to just be one fully. Like, you're never going, even if you don't understand the market, you got a 401k, you're in the market. You might just have that through your job because your job makes you get that because they making money off of that as well, obviously. And you might just be putting money into your 401k every 2 weeks when you get paid because, hey, that's just the money that they take out, right? That's the offer that they have. But you might know nothing else about it. Like, hey, that's the Fidelity 500. I don't know the companies in there. I don't know anything about the companies. All I know is that the 401k comes out every other week. It's $130. It's going into that. Boom, be good. You're not solely a consumer. And investors are not 100% investors because they also have to go out and acquire things. So they have to purchase as well because there's no one investor that's growing, harvesting, tilling, producing, and consuming every single thing he's investing in. It's just not, right? And it's impossible, 1, but then 2, it just doesn't make sense. Because if Coca-Cola is already dominating the beverage space, invest in Coca-Cola. Just put your money in. One company's going to be, by the way. But just invest your money in Coca-Cola because they're doing that thing well, right? The same thing with any other retailer that you shop out, any other company that you shop in. So when you focus your energy in the market, if one of your talents is, one of your skills is finding industrial companies that are just, doing great, just positive, solid dividend, consistent over the past 30 years, 25 years, 50 years, company might be dividend aristocrat or dividend king, then that's where you focus your energy. That's your lane. You can be a trader, you can be intraday, you can be, week, sure, you can be futures, all of that. If that's where your energy is, focus your energy there in the market. Still know, like we mentioned previously, know enough about everything, but focus and master on one thing.
That's what's up. And always remember, you all, look, you don't need a lot of companies to make a lot of money. You can make a lot of money with using a little bit of company, But remember, you need a company to be quality company, though. Quality is the key whenever you're actually dealing with your companies. When you think about something, when it's something that's quality, it lasts long, has good value to it. So same thing, same concept whenever it comes to, investing into these companies that you're actually investing in. Just remember it's quality, and you don't need a lot. You can set yourself up for wealth just by investing in those companies.
Yeah, it's a lot of Tesla millionaires out there. A lot of Tesla millionaires, a lot of Bitcoin billionaires, because what they understood when they invested in the company was, hey, this company can actually do numbers. Like, this is a solid, and it didn't take a lot. Tesla was trading at one point at $50. That was 10 years ago. So imagine, I mean, let's not relive the past here, but imagine if you took $1,000 and invested it in Tesla when it was trading at $50 a share. Like, you know what I mean? You should be set right now. But, so imagine if you put 2,000 or 5,000, 10,000, right? Imagine if you said, all right, I'm gonna put $5,000 in this company called Tesla that's trading at $17 a share. And, we'll see what it does. 10 years later, you got a couple commas in your bank account, you'll be patting yourself on the back. So, like you were saying, good companies and not a lot. You don't have to have a whole lot of money. You just have to consistently invest a portion of your money to see those returns. And you don't even have to have $1,000 startup or $500 startup and then start investing from there. Hey, you get a Robinhood, you get a Webull, you go to get a Charles Schwab, you set you up an account, you put $100 in there every week, $50 in there every week. You start to see that compound over time. You're going to become wealthy a lot quicker than you think.
All right, you all. What time is it? It's stock of the week time. Favorite. All right.
Yeah, so look, I'm going to go Leroy.
Okay.
Coca-Cola already said. Okay, Coca-Cola already said. Dividend king, been giving dividends for over 50 years. It's a great investment. They offer products across the landscape, right? And I'm just talking about beverages, but of course, obviously, they have technological endeavors, they have agricultural endeavors, they have all of this. Every flavored beverage that you consume is probably Coca-Cola, right? Pepsi obviously has a big share of the market as well, but Coca-Cola is that one that's like, Coca-Cola is that consistent, hey, background play, we doing our thing, we got this. Walmart, I'm gonna start the year with Walmart. This is the last time I'm gonna say Walmart for a minute, because Walmart is hustling. Walmart is definitely a part of my portfolio, definitely increasing that. Walmart is a good investment. Right, so I'm gonna go there. And then my third is gonna be Nike. Only because Nike, obviously, I mean, Nike is quite volatile as I'm looking at it. 1 week is 84 and 2 weeks later it's 120. So Nike, but I say Nike for the brand recognition and the fact that there are consumers willing to spend rent on shoes. If you have that kind of hold in the minds of consumers that they will put $1,000, $2,000 in your hand for, for some kicks, for some sneakers, you kind of got the market. The athletic wear is extremely popular. Obviously, when you think sports, you think Nike, right? When you think brand endorsement with athletes, you think Nike. So Walmart, because it's a great company. The growth, I think, is going to be really fantastic. I'm going to throw Amazon in there as a fourth, because Amazon is about to do some amazing things. And it's one of the companies this year to definitely watch. And that's what the banks got to trust the bank. So Walmart, Coca-Cola for the consistent dividend and the affordability. Really, Coca-Cola is not expensive at all, and it never gets to a point to where it's way up there where it looks undesirable, and it always stays like right in between that like 50, 60 range, right? And then Nike.
All right. So my first company is ding 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 Google. Back. So when y'all look at this video, which is on YouTube, guess who owns YouTube? Google. Bam. All right, so that's my first one. And since they did their, stock split, they down at a good price where you can be able to purchase them. Now, do you think they're gonna get back up again? Yes, they're gonna get back up again. All right, Google my first one. Second one, my second one is actually United Healthcare. So, trying to figure out what the heck we talking about. Look, we in a season now where basically, well, this particular moment where like got health stuff going on, people getting older, people always getting older. So, and United Health Care is actually in the Dow index too. It's one of the companies that's in the Dow index. Now, to be able to get in the Dow index, you have to be a really good company. And that's one of the companies in there. So I want you all to actually kind of do your research on that company. You never get a chance. All right, my third one, he said Walmart, right? I'm going with Target. Hey, look, they say the Target is like the Chick-fil-A. They got some banging customer service now. And Target is a pretty good company that, they stay on top of their game with things. Finances look good too, so Target is constantly, staying up with the times, even when times are hard. Target be hitting it. So those are my three.
Yeah,
Google,
I think.
Go ahead.
Okay. Go ahead.
Oh, Google, United Health Care, and Target. What you about to say?
Yeah. So that to make it into the Dow index, it's a few requirements that you have to have. I think you have to have a certain market cap, a certain number of years on the exchange, and then you have to have some. What Leroy did say, hey, let's do some research. So you do the research, drop it in the comments, the requirements to be in the Dow index. But it's definitely when you make it into that index, like Leroy said, that is a good company. But and not just because they follow the guidelines of what the index has, but United Health, when you think about it, you're going to have a massive wave. Like, I don't think everybody understands the severity of this. You're going to have, over the next 10 years, a massive wave of retirement. I'm talking like tens of millions of men and women just done working. Why is that? Two things. The first thing, their children, us, and then their grandchildren, some of us as well, the younger, 23, 24, like, we have a huge, the previous generation has a huge influence on the next generation. Why? Because we're the babies. They watched us grow up. So they want a better life for us than what they had. And what you see a lot of pre-retirees is they're watching our labor movement. They're watching our labor movements because there are multiple. They're watching us assess the workplace and go, this is not working for us. This doesn't work for us because of how you raised me. You raised me differently. You said, don't take no disrespect. You said, stand up for yourself. This is what you said. I've been doing this at work, but I've been penalized for that. How is that? And so he's looking, she's looking, damn, you know what? I did say that. I did raise my kids. Dang, okay, I did. Right? So mom and pop was like, you know what? I've been working for 40 years. I've been working for 30 plus years, and I don't feel satisfied at my job. What is it going to take for me to retire? Okay, that's it. Great. And they're out. So you have that. You also have probably, I would say, and before looking at the numbers, I would guesstimate anywhere between 55 and 67% of the retirees are going to be retired just because they old. Like, they're just aged out of working. You know what I mean? 70 years old, 75. Like, they're just like, okay, I've been working 50 years. Like, they're just done. Right? Like, I'm good. And, they've been working at the same place since they was 20, and they kids and, whatever. So they're just, but what you're going to see over the next 10 years, that massive wave of retirees, and they're moving here. They're moving to North Carolina. They're moving to Florida. They're moving to Texas. They're moving to Georgia, because who wants to retire in negative 30-degree weather? Nobody, right? You don't want to hear a bunch of old bones cracking and breaking all the time. They don't got time for that. They want to be at the beach. They're trying to be at Kitty Hawk. They want to be at Kill Double Hill. They're trying to be on the boat. Hey, man, let me get some shrimp and a pontoon. Like, come on. Like, you know what I mean? So you're going to see that. Now, we have to replace them, right? Because if they're leaving the workforce, that doesn't mean that their job is going anywhere. We have to replace them. But see, we have new requirements. We have standards, right? So you're going to start to see a lot of companies shift policy. A lot of companies have to cater towards it, and you're already seeing it, right? The 4-day-a-week work movement. I don't know how successful that's going to be here in America. Honestly, working 5 days a week is not bad. I work more than 5 days a week. Not bragging, but I kind of do work every day. But working 5 days a week, having your weekend, there's nothing wrong with that. But this movement to cut the work week to 4 days out of the week and still get compensated for 5. I mean, again, I don't know. I mean, because you think about it, that's across every job that you have retirement. That's not just these, labor intensive jobs. That's government. A lot of your city officials will be retiring or will be leaving. That's military. A lot of officers will be leaving. That, right? So you have to think, we have to replace all of these men and women leaving the workplace. We're not just going to accept anything going into that. So you're going to see over the next few years a large labor movement, like a whole shift. And that ties into healthcare, because all of those folks retiring, these are AARP members, right? I'm going to check to see if AARP is a publicly traded company, because if it is, hey, because over the next 10 years, like, for real, because the discount, because what happens is, who votes? Old people and young people. Why? Both of them at home all the time. Okay, old people, they retired, they chilling all day in the garden, doing whatever they got to do so they can be politically active. And young folks ain't got no jobs, right? Young men and women in colleges, on campus, what they doing? Going to class a few hours a day and then party and the rest, so they can be politically active. Everybody else in between, right? Everybody between 25, 26, 59, all of us, we got to work, right? Because we're done with college, we out of that, and we're not yet retired. So we have to hold society up. But pay attention to the healthcare industry over the next 10 years, because you're going to have a lot of knee surgeries, hip replacements, a lot of heart surgeries, and the research behind that. So look into pharmaceutical companies, also look into biotech companies that are going to be creating these active body parts, right? These live, you get your elbow replaced and it feel, just like a new one, because it's technologically advanced. You can, do whatever. You might be able to put your arm to sleep. You don't want to use your arm. Hey, you good. I don't know why you want to do that, but maybe they'll have something where you can say, all right, I want to put my body to sleep, because I know once I do that, I'll be able to go into that slumber. But it's really like once you have that going and you have so many retirees, hey, that's a good investment. So definitely look into that. Healthcare for sure. Because old people, what they do, they taking pills for everything. Memory, foot pain, shoulder pain, back pain. They got creams, ointments. You go in your grandmama's house, it smell like Bengay. You're like, dang, what happened to me? You go in your grandfather's house, it smell like mothballs. Man, what's going on? All different types. They got the whole pharmacy in the house, right? And older men and women are very comfortable with their doctor. Very comfortable. Yeah. And now doctors are nothing but, pharmaceutical reps. So, and you got to think, all right, let me prescribe you this. And they go in, and old people will stay on the phone with insurance for 4 or 5 hours. Hey, get this right. So United Health for sure. 100% a good investment.
You all like, subscribe, comment, and share. The CoWaCo. We out.
We out.